Today I am making some delicious pork chops. These are bone-in, so they're gonna be more flavorful. They're really gonna be super simple. I am using this awesome herb that I love, which is sage. It's fresh sage. And I'm gonna be using some salt, some pink Himalayan salt. This is garlic powder, and this is actually cinnamon. I love to use cinnamon with my pork. With any pork dish, just a little bit just goes a long way. It gives it like a little bit of sweetness and that little background taste that really just makes it unique. So it's super simple. I love pork chops. I actually haven't made pork chops in a while. And what I have here is my cast iron skillet. This is my biggest one. This is the best, in my opinion, to make any kind of like meat or pork chops or chicken. I just love using my cast iron. This is ghee that I actually made today. I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil inside this pot, inside my skillet, and I'm just gonna use maybe about another tablespoon or 1 tablespoon of ghee. If I have to add on a little bit more later, then I will. And I have my heat to like almost high because I really want this to be very, very hot so I can sear the pork chops. These don't take very long, but they're gonna be delicious. So here they are, and I'm actually gonna move my camera so that you don't see me, but you're only gonna see part of me, and you're gonna see what's going on here, which is more important. So here we go. Let's get started. I hope you can see that well. I hope my lighting is well. So these are huge bone-in pork chops. Okay, and they're a little thick, which I love. They do have a good amount of fat. I'm not taking any of the fat away because that's gonna give it flavor. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and season them with a little bit of salt. Let's see if I put them down here. You can see them a little bit better. And actually, pork takes a lot of salt. You really need to salt it up so that you can actually get good flavor from pork. So this looks like a lot, but it's not. It's just enough. And we're gonna season both sides, of course. You can use whatever seasoning you like. I'm gonna keep it simple since I'm gonna use the fresh sage. And this is just some garlic powder on top. Using, and my pan is getting pretty hot right about now, so let me see if I can bring my lighting down. It's a little bit better, I hope, or maybe. Okay, anyways, now this is where you want to be careful with the cinnamon. I mean, cinnamon is delicious with pork in my opinion, so I sprinkle very, very lightly on top. And of course, we're gonna season both sides. I don't know if these 3 are gonna fit in my skillet. This is the biggest skillet that I have. And as you can see, it's just a tiny bit of cinnamon that I'm using. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually put in some of these sage leaves in the pan. I'm just breaking them up in the oil. And as soon as they hit the oil, you can smell them. And this is just gonna give the pork another depth of flavor. You can use whatever herbs you like. I just happen to have, found this fresh sage, and I've used it with chicken a lot, so I love it. And you can use as much as you like. I mean, I have quite a bit, so and these are big pork chops, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do a few more leaves. You don't have to cut them up too much. You're just basically flavoring the oil. And I know you can do this with rosemary too, and I'm sure it'll be delicious. So as they hit the oil, it's like you can smell the sage. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in my pork chops. I'm gonna put down the side that I seasoned. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to fit all 3 of them in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 2, and I'll have to do my other one afterwards, because you don't want to crowd the pan. You don't want them to be too close together, because you actually want them to sear. So you see, that's enough. If there were smaller pork chops, then I'm sure I could probably fit 3 or 4. These are pretty big. So I'm gonna season the other side. And my heat is gonna be pretty high. We all know we have to cook pork through all the way. And these are gonna take a little bit longer than if they didn't have the bone. So just keep that in mind. You may wanna maybe Google or find out what the temperature should be on your pork chops where they're safe to eat. But honestly, I mean, I just kind of go on, just by looking, I know when they're done, when they're ready to eat. So as much as you want on this seasoning, and you can be as liberal as you want with the cinnamon as well, honestly. The first time I did this, I was a little scared. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure, is it gonna be too sweet, or is it gonna be too much, the cinnamon? And everyone loved it, okay? So don't be afraid to use your cinnamon. Maybe use a little bit at a time. You can also use some black pepper on this. This is just, I want to keep it as simple as possible. So as I'm cooking the pork chop, the sage is on the bottom. So it's infusing the oil and the ghee. If you wanted to use butter instead of ghee, you can. I love ghee because the butter tends to burn a little bit more because of the milk solids. So I use ghee and I use olive oil. But you can use whatever fat you like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it at like that high medium heat for a few minutes before I turn them over, because I really want them to get color and get kind of caramelized before I turn them over. So I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. Okay, you guys, so welcome back. I just want to show you, I'm going to turn these pork chops. I'm going to show you what it looks like. What you're looking for. You want to see them nice and caramelized. And if you can see, the sage leaves just kind of got stuck down there, and that's fine because that means it flavored the pork. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring the camera over so you can actually see what I'm talking about. This is what you're looking for when you turn them over. You see they're super caramelized. So I had them on that one side, I don't know, for about 4 minutes on like mostly high heat, medium to high heat, and I turned them over. You can finish them like this. If you look at the bone of your pork chop, again, if you have bone in, it's gonna take longer to cook. If you buy these and they don't have the bone, they're just the pork tenderloin, I guess, without the bone, it's gonna go very, very quickly. So you don't want to cook it too long because you'll over dry the meat. But when the bone is in, it's going to take longer, and it's, in my opinion, it's gonna be more flavorful, more juicy. I do like to use a little bit of lemon on these, so I'm gonna get a lemon. If you don't have lemon, you have lime, that's fine as well. So this one's almost done, but I'm just gonna, whoa. There you go, we're cooking here. We're not messing around. So if you don't want to add the lemon, you don't have to. For me, pork and lemon, it just goes together. I love lemon. I add lemon to everything. You don't have to, but it also helps with keeping the meat juicier, or keeping the juice in the meat as they cook. So this is like half a lemon. It was already juiced, but it has a good amount. So I'm just juicing it right over the pork chops. And I have it at the same heat, medium heat. The color of the bone is going to give you an idea of where we are at right now. And again, I'm going to bring the camera over so you can see what I'm talking about when I say the color of the bone. Sorry if I'm walking you guys around, but I don't know if you can tell because the light is really not cooperating. But there's a little bit of pinkness. Actually, turn off this light. There you go. There's a little bit of pink still in this area here. And so that means we still got to cook it longer, okay? So it's not done yet. And there's my other pork chop just hanging around waiting to be cooked. But she was too big to fit with the other fellows in the pan. So, and you're beginning to see the juice on top as well will be pink if it's not finished. I mean, this all together is not going to take that long. You can add more sage if you want. If you see that the pan, you don't have enough fat, you can also add a little bit of fat to the pan. I think we have sufficient. I started out with about 2 tablespoons of the olive oil, and then I added a tablespoon of my ghee. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these two finish up, and then I will plate them and show you what they look like when they're done. So after I sauteed them for, like you guys saw, on each side for about 4 or 5 minutes, I put these in the same skillet in the oven at 400 degrees, and they've been in there for about 15 minutes. So I'm using the thermometer. I don't usually use the thermometer, but just to kind of, just for you guys, I'm gonna use the thermometer. And it looks like as far as it goes, pork should be at about 160, maybe 165. Right now, it's not quite there. It's at about 160. You probably can't see that because the light is really bad, but it's at about almost 160. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back in the oven for about another, probably 5 or 6 minutes. But as you can see, they're almost done. And they look amazing. I put some more sage on top just to give it more flavor, and I'm gonna put it back in the oven again. Have the oven at 400 degrees for a few more minutes until they're ready. Thanks for watching, everyone, and don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Have a great day.